Good morning and welcome to Monday's Piece for Peace. So as you can see, I've been driving and now I've pulled over. Driving is one of the places that I do some of my deeper thinking. And the weather is really not very good today. It's wet and it's cold and it's damp. And so I decided to go for a drive. And now I'm just on one of the country roads outside Ottawa getting ready to record. Today, we're going to follow along the same theme of last week, where I'm going to take some time to answer questions that have come from people, except today I'm going to answer one in specific. And that is about my video that I did on shame 2 weeks ago. This person has asked me, Eric, it would be interesting to know what it was like for you to make that video. Never mind about talking to us about shame again. What was it like to actually talk about shame? And the reason why this person was asking me this question is in one of the conversations that I had following that video, I was remarking two things about it. The first thing is that it's the video that's had amongst the lowest number of people watch it. And I was surmising that, maybe I had pushed it too far, and shame is a very difficult topic under normal circumstances to talk about. And particularly during COVID, maybe that was a little bit much. But the other thing that is I was mentioning is it's also the video where I've had the most amount of personal response, either through Messenger or conversation. Some people actually going back to watch it more than once to really go around the bend, so to speak, to get used to their personal story to the place that they could face it. So again, the question is, what was it like to make that video? Well, the first thing that I'll tell you is that it took a long time to make it. If I do a video 6 or 7 takes, that's not unusual. You trip up or somebody walks into your shot. That happens. But this is the first time that I've taken that many takes. Well over 20. And I also needed to go to 3 different locations. I tried at different times during the day, excuse me, and I wasn't coming unstuck. And so it was my third location at the very sort of end of like 20 some odd takes where finally I said to myself, you know what, if you don't get in touch with your sense of grief around this, Eric, you're never going to get this done. So I did. I shut it all off and I just sat there for about 15, 20 minutes and I got in touch with my grief. I got in touch with my grief that has been caused by loss. I got in touch with my grief that has been caused by some of the mistakes in my life that I have made. And I got in touch even with my grief at some of the mistakes that I've made, of which I felt ashamed. But I also got in touch with the sense of shame that people have thrust on me. Because that happens, right? Not everything that we feel ashamed about is ours to keep. Sometimes people will make us feel ashamed of what we've done so they can create space for them to shove some shame of theirs onto us, and that's not right. The interesting thing that happened after that, though, is once I got there and I was able to turn the camera back on and then do the video, I was in a whole different heart space, really. Not a head space, a heart space. And the first thing that I felt was a sense of liberation. I felt freed up. I felt freed up of the stickiness, of the dampness of the shame that was not mine to keep, to be able to face the things that I knew that I really needed to, that were still lingering with me. Like somehow I was still compensating them for, even like today in the world that we're living in, right? Where those kinds of things come to get you. What came afterwards was a sense of forgiveness. And I don't mean forgiveness in terms of just wiping the slate clean and being a doormat. I'm talking about forgiveness in terms of getting some distance from the suffering that shame was causing me. That I was in a forgiving environment. And out of that, and I think that this is the biggest surprise, I started to feel a sense of confidence. Now, not confidence that I have all the answers, and not confidence that everything in the world is going to go right. Not the wishful thinking kind of confidence. But the kind of confidence that said that, the mistakes of my past can really teach me the final details of how to take whatever talents I have and bring them to the next level of wherever my journey is coming. And so I would say that in a couple of weeks since that, in terms of, feeling, by going through grief, feeling this sense of liberation, feeling this sense of forgiveness, and feeling this sense of confidence, I'm left with this feeling of gratitude. A gratitude for my life, gratitude for my friends who are in it, gratitude for you who listen, and those of you who respond back, gratitude for my kids and my family and all of those kinds of things. But a deeper gratitude than that even, a sense of goodness gratitude. It's been an interesting couple of weeks to really ponder this. And so as I close today, I want to thank you very much for all the encouragement that you've given me over the last months, for helping me develop this discipline as part of my work and my ministry and my studies at St. Paul's University. I want to thank you for the personal stories that you've shared, and thank you for the personal stories that I know that you're sharing with others that have nothing to do with this video. Just thanks. Listen, folks, be blessed, be a blessing, and we'll see you next week.